Stretch it out. There's Mitt. Hi, Mitt. We're back. Get the team back together today. Where's Steve? Is Steve already downstairs? Mitt, say hello. Good morning, Mitt. Oh boy, look at this, 40-something degrees. It's about 50 degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago. But we're now near Boston instead of near Canada. And where's the flag? I gotta put my new flag up because the wind direction and speed is very important in our forecast going forward. There he is. Hi, Steve. Hi, T-Rex. Because every change in wind direction means a change in the weather. And right now, new flag, not the best job hoisting, but it shows the air coming from the southwest. And that is the warmer weather direction. And that's why it is so much warmer than 24 hours ago, especially when you travel from northern Vermont to near Boston. But even in northern Vermont, it's a lot warmer, almost like 30 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. It's called warm air advection, and here are the temperatures. This was about, I think, 7 o'clock in the morning. And much like 48 hours ago, a huge thermal gradient across the northeast. That means so much warmer at the south coast than in northern New England. But 2 days ago, it was a 55-degree difference between New Bedford and Portage. This morning, it's 43 in New Bedford, plus 43 degrees above zero, and right at zero in Portage, Maine, where 2 days ago it was 10 below. So it's only a 43-degree temperature gradient. But off the coast of Maine, look at those temperatures in the mid-30s. So Maine alone has a 36-degree temperature gradient, and that wind over Matinicus Rock from the southwest gusting to 45 miles per hour. What is wind? Air moving from high to low pressure, and what came in as a cold high pressure system yesterday has raced east and is now a 1030 millibar high pressure system over Bermuda, another wintertime Bermuda high pressure system. And so the return flow has multiple warm fronts. Let's look at the surface analysis. There's the Bermuda high off to the right, and then three warm fronts, a trilogy of warm fronts on the east coast, pushing the warm air conveyor up the east coast, but at the same time, another batch of cold, or the old cold, reloading in Canada with a cold front in Ontario pushing south. So it's the battle zone of air masses with warm versus cold right over New England with multiple waves of low pressure crossing. Well, I guess that's not new, just continuing a parade of storms, or at least waves of low pressure, and there are storms. Let's look at the national advisories, watches, and warnings. And it's the western United States with the most winter storm warnings. Here in the Northeast, only one purple zone, freezing rain, winter weather advisory in Pennsylvania. There should be advisories in New England. And also of note, Alaska has a blizzard warning, and Hawaii has flooding. I thought that red was a blizzard warning, so I went to Hawaii, but that was a flash flood warning in Hawaii. But there is a winter storm warning for the volcanoes, Mauna Loa and Mauna Kea. Snow with winds of 85 miles an hour forecast on the mountains of Hawaii. So the satellite imagery of the Pacific Ocean, you can see a trilogy of storms in the Pacific near Hawaii and Alaska, and then to the west and coming on the coast. So a parade of Pacific storms and a huge thermal gradient across the lower 48 United States with cold in Canada and warm to record warm from Texas to Florida back into the 80s this week in the same area where it snowed 2 weeks ago. And a fast flow with a high frequency change in air mass. The flag this morning coming from the southwest, the radar shows the precipitation, the bands of precipitation coming up along the Mississippi River Valley and then kind of flattening out where the warm meets the cold from about Chicago to Boston. There is a light element. There are light elements of precipitation that are going to get heavier as the cold presses south and the warm lifts north all at the same time right over New England. So let's go to the high resolution 3-kilometer NAM, and it goes out for 60 hours from this morning where the green and the red is freezing rain, warmer up in the sky, colder near the ground. And even if your temperature's above freezing, your ground could be even colder than that. So freezing rain
on the north side of your house there in Dalton, Massachusetts, where it was 27 this morning. And then it starts going green is rain and blue is snow, and the time is in the upper left. 22Z, that's 5 p.m. 23Z, 6 p.m. And look at the blue pressing south. So rain changing to snow 9 o'clock, now into the Merrimack Valley north of Boston. And that dark blue means heavy snow. It could snow a ½ inch an hour, moderate to heavy snow. And then that presses south into Boston around midnight. Now, note the low going south of New England kind of jogging around. But when lows go due east, south of New England, there's a tail of snow. And there it is. What I mean is, look at that lengthy area of blue with the dark blue in southeastern Massachusetts at sunrise tomorrow, stretching all the way back into Pennsylvania and then gradually collapsing between 10 and 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Ocean effect snow as it turns much colder over Cape Cod, almost looking like a nor'easter for a couple of hours early tomorrow morning. And then we are all in the harsh chill with the temperature falling from the 30s into the 20s into the teens as the day goes on tomorrow. And then Sunday, 10:36 high coming in tomorrow night. Sunday morning could be the coldest morning of the winter in parts of southern New England due to radiational cooling. Not like yesterday when we had the wind. It's going to be clear and calm and heavy frost around here with temperatures near zero in a lot of New England, including southern New England on Sunday morning. Before that high moves off, and here comes another warm front. Here comes the warmer air coming back in, and what happens? It snows again Sunday afternoon in northern New England. That'll be, let's see, it snowed this morning. For my days in a row in snow, I love looking at the food pantry for deer in Brownville, Maine, on the boundary in Maine. It was snowing a little bit this morning, so today is day 31 in a row with snow somewhere in New England. And so every day in January, it snowed somewhere in New England, and it's historic, really, in the mountains of northern Vermont. Mount Mansfield, the snow reporters up there, Andre and Scott and everybody reporting 81 inches of snow for this month alone. That's 6.6 feet. And at J, rough estimate, because it really just blows all over the place, of 100 inches of snow at J Peak so far this month, and maybe a little more today. And that's over 8 feet of snow in northern Vermont without a single day of rain or thaw in Vermont this January. I don't remember that ever happening. So as I always say, once in a lifetime weather happens somewhere to someone every day. And that was what the case was here. Steve, you want some of these things? Steve was just showing some interest in the wintertime catnip. What do you think, Steve? Cat mint. And I love the comments. So many comments coming in. Glenn, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me, thinking of the comments. What I was thinking of was Eric, the wildlife specialist in New Hampshire, says he wants to share with us the breeding season of the animals that begins in February. We'll talk about that, and I'll welcome your input. And Glenn wants the ice bucket challenge. Well, Glenn, there's the bucket. Now, I blew it because this bucket was the ice bucket, and it was so full of ice, it broke. It had about 9 inches of water in it from Thanksgiving into December. So I had to start a new ice bucket, and this is it. And so I do have the ice bucket going this year, Glenn, and I'll try and pay more attention. If I can get this to thaw, I'll be able to stick the ruler in it. It's kind of thawing. Should I empty it out? No, I shouldn't right now. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. I want to talk about the weather going forward. And so you can see the ground kind of sweating here. It's just warm enough at 40 that I don't have ice here. But tomorrow morning I will. Oh yeah, how much snow from that thing tonight? I guess I could show the NAM high-res snowfall forecast. And it does show that strip of about, 2 to 4 inches of snow right across central New England. Mostly tonight in central New England, and this afternoon and tonight, and then pressing south overnight around midnight. And it could end up 1 to 2 inches of snow right down to Boston and Cape Cod by tomorrow morning. So another overachiever. I think it's another one of those. There's no advisories or watches or warnings in southern New England for snow, but be advised, it's going to snow and it's going to be icy late tonight and tomorrow morning. And look at this. The stairs are gone. Going forward now, let's go to the euro. It looks pretty consistent with yesterday, so that's a little bit higher confidence forecast. There's our flat wave racing to the east, south of New England tonight. So actually at 999 benchmark low. It's just fleeting and flat. It's a very fast, flat flow with New England right in the battle zone. Let's see, tomorrow turns colder. Sunday's the coldest. Monday it's warm back up and probably be in the 30s in southern New England again by Monday. And another batch of rain and snow Sunday night into Monday. And then it looks colder on Tuesday. Another harsh Arctic chill Tuesday night into Wednesday. Another very cold morning. And then here comes another wave with, now I'm going to slow this down. On Wednesday night, the red is freezing rain. We talked about that a couple of days ago, how it's going to be warmer up in the sky. So freezing rain to start off our Thursday. Now, as the day goes on, low pressure tracks, and this is higher confidence, to our northwest, and we all get into the warmer air with freezing rain changing to plain rain for a few hours. Temperatures in southern New England could get into the 50s. Now, this is higher confidence for Thursday, the first thaw in some time. Boston didn't even hit 50 in January this year, and Tucker says it hasn't happened in a long time, Tucker being a meteorologist at Channel 25, but that's another subject. Let's keep this going. So we get colder air coming back in Thursday night, and incidentally, the rain-snow line could go to the Canadian border for the first time, and now we're out there. That's around the 6th of February, and then here comes the cold air back in next Friday into Saturday, and look at that wave after wave of blue snow in southern New England. Looks like all weekend, next weekend, as the battle zone sets right up with the rain-snow line pretty close to Long Island and Nantucket next Saturday and Sunday. Wow. It's been there for a couple of days, so it's marginally high confidence. Now there's some consistency. We'll have to monitor this day to day because, you know, as weather changes, so do weather forecasts, and that 240 hour there shows not much going on in the United States. Now we're out to Sunday, February 9th, but the blue lines are up against the red lines. That's the rain-snow line, and there will be more storms coming in off the Pacific Ocean. So even though it looks quiet there for a minute, around Sunday night into Monday, the 9th and 10th, there's going to be more action coming in after that, zooming along. And so if we show the coast-to-coast North America snow going out 240 hours, as what are we in, week 15 in a row of coast-to-coast snow? I kind of lost track to that one. And that shows the purple adding up over southern New England and central New England. The purple is a foot of snow, so nickel and diming our way to a foot of snow possibly over the next 10 days. And at 240 hours, I'll show you, I'll zoom into the western United States, and that 100 inches there, that's Soda Springs, California. There's been kind of a snow drought in California so far this season. And so that's good news for those skiers and for firefighters too, battling all the fires. So we're getting this train of storms in off the Pacific Ocean, guarantees action-packed day-to-day forecasts, and they're going to change every 36 hours. The weather is going to be changing here, even every 18 hours. Really challenging forecasting. So we're big picture here, but I'll try and keep track of the localized picture too. And the localized picture is dramatic. I mean, look at how much it's changed right here. I'm not even talking about the weather. I'm talking about my environment. Environment means that's around you, and that's around us is dynamic for sure. It makes you want to do kind of a jump and see if you can fly here. Yeah, T-Rex, we're going inside. How much snow will be left on our ground tomorrow? It's going to be melting today, but then a fresh coating of snow in the morning. And here is how things, as the prop turns. Yeah, it's all connected, isn't it? All right. Talk to you in 24 hours. I'll free up Steve. Look at the look on his face. Let go of me, Rex. Oh, yeah, the and more from yesterday, the travel back from northern Vermont, and did not pull the trigger on going snow skiing because I wanted to get home and see our pets. So the and more from northern Vermont to southern New England yesterday, and seeing the temperature on the thermometer go from 0 to plus 25. All right, Rex, come on. Let's go. In the door. All right, talk to you tomorrow. 0. Goose egg on the thermometer. White air. Checking out, at least of the unit. Not sure if I'm going skiing or not yet. Look at that. It's sunny, but you can't see up the mountain because of the J-Cloud. Thanks, Ted. Steve, everybody. See you again, maybe February? Tram is taking the day off due to wind. What wind? Nice chime, huh? Sun, wind, snow.
Midweek skiing is the best if you can get it. Not too crowded, is it? Next time, I'll get on the tram. Next time. I don't think Antarctica has much on this lately. Maybe the sun's a little higher actually in Antarctica. Because it's summertime at the South Pole. In the car. Deciding whether I want to go out there. See, I don't have a place to change now. I guess I can change. That's why I want a big van. Or something like that. Gotta get something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool. As opposed to cold. Just couldn't see across the street a second ago, and now you can. You can see the waves. I'm waving Jay goodbye until next time. Should I go to Montgomery? Or Eden? Or both? It's midday and it's -1 on the car thermometer right now. Coldest lunch hour this side of February 2023. So I just pulled out and I didn't know Weir was right behind me. And so how are your feet? How's that?
Well, I can't feel my toes. Otherwise, my core was warm. Yeah, it was good, but my legs are sore. You know, I'm getting old.
So did I really miss it? Did I wuss out?
I mean, I did have some good turns, but you know.
All right.
It took dedication.
It's 1 below 0 at lunchtime. When's the last time that happened?
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think we'll head south. There's a lot of mountains on Route 100. Maybe we'll see another one we like. Maybe it'll warm up.
There you go.
It's all good in Vermont. Thanks for having us, Jet. See you next time.
Beautiful.
The car fishtailed getting out of the resort. I chose to take the less notchy roads. So taking the traditional way back towards southern New England, I think. Plus it's a really pretty ride. I could never be a dairy farmer, but I appreciate all the work you do up here in the Northeast Kingdom of Vermont. I really enjoy this ride. Coventry, Vermont. Just beautiful, clean snow as far as the eye can see. You know what? I'm going through Littleton. Wonder if I can pop into Cope's house. Cope? You don't know Cope? Sure you do. Quick pit stop in Barton, Vermont. I haven't been to Barton in some time. I got snow on the rims, and that really makes the car shake. That's not good. It gives you a chance to look around a little bit at the rivers that are flowing within their banks, and it's not even frozen, which is amazing, huh? And the tool of choice, that's my gardening tool. It's an everything tool, and there was a ton of snow and ice in there. This has happened to me before, so I was kind of aware as soon as I got on the highway and started trying to go 60. All right, back on the road. Cope, are you home, Cope? Lindenville. I was a sophomore here 40 years ago this winter. It was called Linden State, not Vermont State. Cope was otherwise occupied, so we didn't get to stop and see him. That would be Bob Copeland, who lives in a position where his webcam can see Franconia Notch. And that's where we're headed through. Look at the guns going at Cannon. Go, Greg Keeler and company. Lafayette. Looks like smoke, doesn't it? Snow guns. Blaring. The Notch. I was near a notch in Vermont, now we're in the Notch in northern New Hampshire. All the notches of New England are gorgeous. 365 days a year. This is called Franconia Notch.
coming through north of the notch. Still a pretty good amount of snow on the ground up there in Littleton, even though that's where you get that shadow effect. Is that Echo Lake? Echo. Old Man in the Mountain? Used to be there.
From 6 to 10 on the best mix of the 80s, 90s, and today. 94.9 HOM.
Well, look who showed up. Good old winter.
Lenticular, the flying saucer cloud, south of Cannon. See that a lot around here. The lenticular is a stationary cloud. Air moves through it. Think of it as a wave. When the air goes up, the cloud forms, then the air goes down, and it's blue sky again. Sometimes Cannon will cast a lenticular cloud over Loon, and you wonder why it won't move. This one is not over Loon. We're going by Loon and Waterville right now, heading south. Going to see Steve and T-Rex and Mitt, Mommy, out the Weymouth door in the morning, which was this morning, right? Yeah. Warmed up. 27 degrees warmer than Jay. It's 27. So, clearing for some ice hockey pond as we go back into Manchester, New Hampshire. Went over the Merrimack River several times. It was all ice. So interesting. It's been a pretty cold winter, but I believe when we go over the Fore River Bridge, I will not see any ice in Massachusetts. Oh yeah, so great to be back in the city. Coming in from the north, pods of cars that needed to go 90 miles per hour. The rest of us trying to just get along, going 70 to 75. This is a gorgeous sunset. Drivers over there. Oh, we still have some snow in Weymouth. That's kind of a surprise. One of those big monsters ate our stairway.